visuals, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we like to sit down and talk about what do you like to... we're going to talk about how creepy the fuck that is. Why is that going off? Is my Nano Gauntlet possessed? Well, not really. We're going to talk about Pokemon. Obviously, it's just a running shitty meme that no one laughs at but me. What the fuck? Apart from being possessed, though, that kind of looks cool in the background all lit up. But maybe we should have got Thanos' gauntlet lit up as well and everything. Maybe we should start lighting up everything on there. What the fuck? But anyway, visuals, we are... what the hell? We're here to... I'm actually a little bit paranoid now. Please don't anybody in the comments be like, Dan, 7 minutes in, did you see that in the corner? Because... oh, that's my shadow there. I thought, oh, that dark was... I'm actually getting tingle wingles. I don't enjoy this. Fuck off. I don't know if it's like... it must be like a design... if I go near it, it must be like design, like maybe when the batteries are going dead or something, because I leave the batteries in. And it's like... I don't know, maybe... oh, fuck knows. Maybe it's like, oh, we need to just keep getting some use out of these, but fuck knows. It's weird as shit. But visuals, we're going to redo a list we've probably done... at least maybe 3 times. Well, this could be the 3rd time. I'm not sure. A list we've done before, but a list that will forever change. It will never stay the same. Well, my top 3 will always be the same, but the rest probably changes. With additions of new Pokemon and falling in love with new, different Pokemon for whatever reason, whatnot, I've decided to redo my favourite Pokemon of all time list. So please, visuals, I'll stop myself a bit too hard there. Know in the comments below your favourite Pokemon. We're just going to ignore it now. Let us know whatever in the comments below about, you know, why certain Pokemon are your favourite, who makes your top 10, who just misses out. Because this list, like I said, apart from my top 3, even my top 3, though, might change from every now and then. The same Mons, but different order. One probably won't. But yes, anyway, this list is one of them things that will constantly keep changing, you know, when Gen, like, 10s, 15s, 20s, 30s come out, if they ever do. Hopefully they do. And it will keep changing. But this is it currently, and like I just repetitively said, shit keeps changing. When I finish this video, I'll probably go, oh, I should have added you in the list. I feel like I spent a good hour, right, making this list and going, okay, why do I love you? Why am I getting you in there? I need to put you in there. I've just got a feeling you have to be in there because I love you so much. Like, whatever, I don't know. But here we go, visuals. Here is my 10 favourite Pokemon of all time for the millionth time. Number 10, we're going to go for Centiskorch. The gifts in shiny form, it's the best one that I could find on Goggle. But Centiskorch, who come into our lives in our adventure around the Galar region. Centiskorch, when I first looked at it, I knew I liked it straight away. But it was until I got until I had one of my own in my first ever playthrough of the Galar games, the Sword and Shield games, that I really thought, there's something about you that I just love. It's happened lately. It's happened with Spidops and Scout and Violet, like the bug type Pokemon. It's certain individual bug type, but I've looked at and just thought, I absolutely adore you. And to be fair, bugs aren't necessarily my, even though there's a couple of bugs on this list, aren't necessarily my favourite typings and whatnot, but there's something about Centiskorch. I don't know if it's the sprite, I don't know if it's the combination of fire and bug, but I'm not a huge fucking Moth Dickhead fan. I can't remember your fucking name now. I don't know if it's his big boy form where it just feels like it goes on forever. I need to stop calling it the big boy form. I don't know why I always have, but I will continue. But yeah, there's something about Centiskorch that really stands out. Like my little plushie laying on top of my Ecto 1 Lego set. I just love the fucking thing. But if it was in real life, I would be a little bit like, you're creepy and minging, fuck off. But a real life Centiskorch would be phenomenal. And he's number 10 on our list. 9 on our list is a very new Pokemon, and it's still a Pokemon that I'm not 100% sure I pronounce the name of, and I've put it as my 9th favourite Pokemon of all time currently, and it's Grafaiai. I fucking adore this little bastard. I don't know why. Again, it's just like Centiskorch, it's in my first ever playthrough of the Paldea games. There was something about the colours that they used in it, and the design, and that little trailer we got about running through the woods and doing his... I know it's used... by like the Team Star people and whatnot. A lot of them have it, and it's considered, I guess, not the bad guy Pokemon, but the bad team associated. Yeah, it's part of the team and whatnot. But I think the design is phenomenal. I love it when it's got all the different vibrant colours on its fingers and whatnot. I love the current artworks, especially for the Paldea Evolved. We haven't pulled that card yet, but I might have to go out and buy it. I think it's one of the best looking Pokemon cards I've seen in a while, especially in the modern generation stuff. It looks phenomenal. I think they did a great job. The type matchup, normal poison, it doesn't stand out to us. It doesn't scream anything to us. But at the same time, together, I'm like, I kind of like that. Nothing makes sense about why I love this apart from the design. I think it's adorable. I think it's well done. I think it looks great. That's what the whole point of it is. Whatever. I did the weird, vibrant purples and stuff. They're chucking it amongst it with all the paint and stuff. I think it's a great Pokemon. Not necessarily the strongest Pokemon you ever have. I do as well. Luckily, I found the shiny form in our first playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet, so I was very fucking happy with that. But Grafaiai, I love the little bastard. Number 8 is me. That's right, I'm a Pokemon out. No, Snorlax. This fat little bastard, is always been a huge icon of the Pokemon world. It's always been one of the main Pokemon. If you were to point out, to say that the 10 most iconic Pokemon, I think Snorlax has an argument to be in there. He's so iconic, such a unique way of capturing, especially the early days and whatnot. Then we get a little bit of more love for him added with the inclusion of its pre-evolution of Munchlax. It's super powerful. Ash has rocked up with one. Red's rocked up with one. Plenty of powerful trainers have used Snorlax before. It's had some iconic moments, especially with like its Z move. What was that called again? Was that like pulverizing pancake or some shit like that? Some people I've seen online have argued, give it a mega, give it a middle stage, do more to it. But for me, Snorlax is perfect the way it is. We don't need to include anything more. It's a dead basic design, but at the same time, there's a lot of detail and a lot of stuff going on there. It's a very Pokemon-y Pokemon, which is a term I use when I look at a Pokemon and go, you look, feel, breathe, do everything that is, you look like a Pokemon. He's S tier for that. Shiny form's great. The animation's great. The whole thing about it took all these years for it to stand up and its sprite and stuff. So many iconic moments in the anime. So many cool, amazing cards. The original TCG cards are so classic and iconic. I fucking love Snorlax, and I've used him on so many teams, and it's hard when especially when I redo the Kanto stuff and we get to that moment, I'm like, we're going to wake you up, right? Because we have to, but we're going to wake you up and we're going to catch you, aren't we? And we're just going to make you part of the team. It's going to happen, isn't it? And it's like 9 times out of 10 that happens. It's very rare I catch Snorlax and go, nah, we won't have you. Especially if I'm just like, think, fuck it, it's a couple of days, let's play, Red, and we'll just run through Red quickly. I just love Snorlax. 7 is Nidoking. I feel like I'm pushing him up further up the list because I am redoing the Let's Go games, and I have a Nidoking currently on my team. I'm doing Let's Go Pikachu. I have a Nidoking. My team currently consists of obviously Pikachu, Nidoking, Arcanine, Gyarados, Ivysaur, because I'm where we are. I'm about to go take on Erica, for whatever, and a Alolan Sandslash. I thought, fuck it, let's chuck a Alolan Sandslash on there. Obviously, we did a trade in Thingy City. But anyway, we're talking about Nidoking. So there might be some recency bias, but even if I took recency bias out of it, Nidoking has always been one of the best Pokemon ever, one of the best designs, one of the best looks, one of the best colour schemes, one of the best little stories with the Nidoqueens and the full Nido family and shit like that. He's always been, if he's not been in my top 10, he's either just been outside of it and whatnot. Again, like Snorlax, that Pokemon-y feel, he is. And again, just like Snorlax, he's very iconic and very recognisable. One of the faces of the Pokemon world, especially the early stuff. A lot of speedrunners obviously choose to go for the Nidoking thing because of how early you can evolve a Nidoran all the way to a Nidoking. As soon as you get to Mount Moon, you get a Moon somewhere, you got to go to Nidoking. It's powerful, fun type, and I guess the poison type, whatever, the ground type aspect I do love more. I do also really love Nidoqueen as well. I'm not just chucking the Nidoran, and Nidoqueen line over there. But I just think I prefer Nidoking. I don't know why. I think it's that weird, crazy purple. A Pokemon I constantly love to draw. A Pokemon that has so many beautiful poses and positions and stuff when you look at different artwork. A Pokemon that's got another great OG TCG card. One of my favourite holo cards of all time. It's absolutely outstanding. Nidoking. Plus watching him follow me around, because I've got him out of his Pokeball at the minute in the Let's Go game, Pikachu. And he's just fucking amazing. This is Arcanine, a Pokemon that I'm fairly certain has always been this similar sort of position in all of my Pokemon favourite lists, and I probably won't need to harp on too much about it, but I from design, from just the pure fire typing to the added animation of the Let's Go games, to the OG card, see him in the intro, the fact that he was, going to be a legendary, but then before they make it all birds and whatnot, how powerful he is, how badass, again, iconic, very recognizable, maybe top 15, 20 iconic Pokemon of all time, maybe, I'm not sure, been on so many classic teams, he's just a beautiful, amazing, awesome, badass Pokemon, and I've spoken about him so many times. This Crocodile. We're getting into the territory of Pokemon that I have constantly spoke about so many times in, said why I love it. Again, I've pointed out many times why I have, you can just see Crocodile tattooed on my leg. I love this Pokemon. I love the cheeky, silly personality that Ash's one have. I love the design. I love the fact that it's basically a desert crocodile, well, Sandile into Crocorock, into Crocodile and stuff. I love everything about this. I love the typing, the dark typing as well. Bring it on. I'm not usually a massive dark typing fan, but cool. Everything about this whole line, and even the crazy color scheme. They go from like light brown to black into this like blood red sort of browny kind of look. Everything about it's great. Again, a lot of them associated with the bad guys. A lot of bad guys in the team. Them, Plasma team, it's Plasma. Have the Generation 5, have Crocodiles and Crocoroks and all that kind of stuff. But I just fell in love with it. Again, like Arcanine, like Snorlax, like Nidoking, the ultimate Pokemon feel for me. I think they just, Generation 5 is one of them entries to the Pokemon games. This is, again, something I've said a million times, where the dex for me isn't very strong. Like, the Pokemon that I'm not a huge fan of, like, I really like the Snivies and stuff. I'm like, get away. But the few Pokemon that I adore from this generation, like the Crocodiles, I'm like, I absolutely adore you. I think you are one of the greatest things that Pokemon has ever created. So, Crocodile is on the list. This is a hard one to break down, but I'm going to chuck them all in. I don't know if this is a cheat or not, but I'm going to chuck it all in. It's the Rowlet line. Probably if I did have to pick one out of all of them, it would be Decidueye, but I fucking love Rowlet so much. Again, me being always Mr. Team Grass 9 times out of 10 in the Pokemon games when my starters picked, unless it's Snivy or Sprigatito, it's usually always a grass type, and I'm always hashtag Team Grass. But I absolutely think they smashed it in these Alola games when they give us Rowlet, when they give us Dartrix, when they give us Decidueye. The overall design of Decidueye with the ghost type and the bow and arrow look, the Robin Hood sort of kind of look and whatnot, absolutely perfect. The fact that we've got a flying type and a grass type as our starter, my two favourite typings of all time. Amazing. The fact that we get the animation of Rowlet when he's looking around at you. We've seen that meme when Ground's out and he's got his head tilted back. Like, what the fuck? Beautiful. Owls, one of my favourite animals. I think they're amazing. Dartrix looking like a little emo. Then we go into the Hisuian things. Even though I don't prefer the Hisuian one, but I do like what they did there and what they gave us there. Oh, everything about this line. I am very fond of the Alola games. They are some of my favourite Pokemon games of all time. They're very much up there for me. I know there's handholdy and it's very, kid friendly, but it's the Pokemon world. Who cares? But I think they really did nail it. As far as like the popular line is okay-ish and the little line is good, I think the Rowlet line for me personally, in terms of design, in terms of typing, in terms of everything about it, it's perfect. Starter typing. It's the way to get a starter and tick all the boxes and make it all perfect for me. They nailed it with this Rowlet line. Got our podium finishes, visuals, of course. Another Pokemon I've got tattooed. Heracross will always be in my top 3. He is, and it's my top 3 are all like very. It's like a photo finish, like when the horse is about to cross, and it's like it's just. People just finishing just before the others. I absolutely adore Heracross. I fell in love with Heracross. It's without a shadow of a doubt more when it got involved in the anime and Ash caught a Heracross and his involvement with Bulbasaur and stuff. The personality come through of Ash's Heracross. The design is phenomenal. From the boy, the girl. The girl's got the love heart one. The typing, bug fighting, amazing. The story between him and Pinter, because I know him and Pinter have somewhat, they definitely do have somewhat of a rivalry, which is always cool. And I was like, get away, Pinter, come on. To the new Pokemon Snap games where you can trigger a certain event, and there's the Heracross and the Pinter, you know, fighting and going at each other and whatnot. I think the design's phenomenal. I think he's got a great Mega. Everything about Heracross is absolutely beautiful. He feels a little bit more rare, especially in the games that he's made his debut in. So you got to headbutt the trees and whatnot, the gold and silver stuff. It wasn't just like something you could just sort of put around. Oh, there's a Heracross. It felt a little bit more, like I said, not like a legendary, but you know, when you have to do that little bit more to get it, it always felt a bit more like, oh, this is special. Heracross, again, like I said, I mentioned about the Rowlet line. When it comes to perfect design, I think they smashed it with Heracross. I think they absolutely killed it with Heracross. I remember looking at the old Pogs and stuff you would get in your crisp packets. I remember the old cards, not the TCG cards, but you know, like them big stupid like picture cards and whatnot. Any old artwork you would get for the Gen 2 stuff, seeing him inside of the guidebook for the old Gen 2 games and whatnot, his sprite inside of the games to how he looks. It's honestly, I can't love a Pokemon. Well, I can because I've got too much to come, but it's hard for me to love Pokemon more than I love Heracross. It's, beautiful. This, like I said, from 3 onwards, you know the score. Number 2, we're still gonna stick with we're gonna go for the entire line. Usually I just chuck in Venusaur and Bulbasaur, but I'm gonna chuck in the entire line. Our number 2 is the entire Bulbasaur line. Not only, well, I always love these Pokemon against Bulbasaur, Titan and whatnot. They're my favourite starters of all time. The best. Everyone was Team Charizard. Then you had like the other people like Team Blastoise. Like, yeah, we got cool. And I'm like, you know, us Venusaur fans, us Bulbasaur fans, like, we're cool as well. We just love our Bulbasaur and stuff. I've always adored this Pokemon. The first Pokemon that I ever, not technically captured, but, you know, first ever Pokemon was Bulbasaur. And then, like, my next 3 or 4 playthroughs after that was always Bulbasaur. It was a few playthroughs in that I can remember anyway, where I chose a different starter. I love Bulbasaur so much. The big debate, is it the first Pokemon? Is it Mew? Is it Arceus? Because obviously he's one of the Pokedex. Some of the greatest designs ever. I'm talking about Snorlax, great design. Arcanine, great design. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, absolutely flawless designs. The OG TCG cards, I remember everybody was, again, I've got my original Charizard when I was a kid, I got my original Blastoise, but I was never in much awe as I was when I was looking at the Venusaur card. Like, I pulled a Charizard when I was younger, like, yay, Charizard. But I remember pulling my first Venusaur and being like, losing my mind because, and again, I'm not the only Bulbasaur fan out there. I'm not the only person to be on Team Bulbasaur. There's plenty of us. But I remember getting it in that card form and whatnot, being like, this is my mon! This is my mon that, you know, I took on this gym and I took on the Elite Four and I beat my rival, become champion. This was my first mon. This was my first starter. This is my first partner Pokemon. And I have such an emotional feeling. When I think about Pokemon, I think about Bulbasaur. I think about Ash's Bulbasaur. I think about the original cards. I think about my original Bulbasaur. My first, I can remember it now, my first playthrough of the Pokemon games and being so shit and just having Bulbasaur, like, and up to Ivysaur, to Venusaur, stupid levels. And my next mon's down to like level 15s and 16s. Just because I was like, Bulbasaur love, Ivysaur love, Venusaur love. And just going nuts with the whole Venusaur and Bulbasaur thing. Even to now, when we did the anniversary set not long ago, and you got the remastered cards of like the, you know, Charizards and whatnot. Charizard awesome, but if you go back and watch it, unbox them saying, please can we have Venusaur, please? And we pull a Venusaur, and I'm like, yes, we got the Venusaur, just because that line will always mean so much to me. The grass typing. I'm not too much bothered about the poison typing, but if we were going poison types, that's my poison type. But my ultimate grass type, great designs. OG starters, fucking iconic, legendary, beautiful, badass Pokemon. I will forever love the Bulbasaur line. Number 1, yes, you guessed it, big shock. I'll try not to bore you too much, but it's Pidgeotto. To be fair though, the first time I've ever done this, but I'll include that. Yeah, we'll have some gifts up somewhere of the whole line, because I do adore Pidgey and I do adore Pidgeot so fucking much. I mean, I really love them guys. We're speaking just before about Bulbasaur, about how it was my first ever interaction, you know, my first Pokemon I caught, blah blah blah. But Pidgey was the only ever consistent. So when I did eventually go on and have Squirtle as my starter, still got the Pidgey. When I wanted to have Charizard as my starter, still got the Pidgey. Oh, the Gold and Silver games come out. Got Chikorita, there's my Pidgey. Got Cyndaquil, but there's also my Pidgey and Pidgeotto were always my consistents. My newest play for the Let's Go games, it was so... I got all the way up to a Pidgeotto and thought, no, Dan, come on. You need to just step away from the Pidgeot and give something out. That's why I'm thinking, fuck it, we'll just get a random Alolan Sandslash. And I've sat in my box now and I'm like, I really want to get you back out when you're part of my team because I love you so much. It's just been the consistent, useful, powerful, great designed, amazing, nostalgic, OG Pokemon that it is. Oh, the OG regional bird. Pidgeotto and the storyline. This is why I love Pidgeotto so much. So was the storyline. Yes, Ash failed with the Pidgey capture, but it caught Pidgeotto. Did a lot of battles. Goes all the way to the league. Gets knocked out of the whatever it is against Thingy. Because Charizard refuses to fight. Goes on, finds all the Pidgey and Pidgeottos being bullied by the Spearows and Furrows. And I remember being such a young kid, and getting so emotional, overwhelmed when Ash's Pidgeotto was like, I need to evolve and I need to go into a Pidgeot and I need to step away, to take away all of these Fearows and Spearows and stop them attacking, these Pidgeys and Pidgeots, Pidgeys and Pidgeottos. And I know you, like I always say when I bring up this point, like, well, why didn't you prefer Pidgeot then? Because it was Pidgeot that did all the defending, but it was Pidgeotto that knew that it needed to evolve to get that. I credit everything with there to Pidgeotto, and I just remember welling up. I remember seeing Pidgeot return, and when he returned for the last run of Ash's go around in the anime, I remember getting proper welled up, and all I saw was that Pidgeotto. It was a Pidgeot. I shed Pidgeot. It was all Pidgeot, but I just saw that Pidgeotto that needed to evolve to defend the Pidgeys and Pidgeottos and shit, and it just broke my heart, and I just fell in love with it. And like I said, it's always consistent. It's always been by my side. It's the only reason why I haven't got a tattoo is because I got all my tattoos at the time that he did the Pokemon stuff was off a new lad, my best pal, and he was like, "Oh, I don't fancy doing a bird, the wings and all that. I'll have a go at a Gyarados though." But it will be on there at some point. But yes, Pidgeotto, the entire Pidgey line. They'll forever be with me. There we go, visuals. That was my millionth go around of my favourite Pokemon of all time. But please let me know what you think of my top 10 list and let me know in the comments below how sick you are of me doing this. I know it's not recurring. It's like there's like a good year or so in between each time we do this, but we'll try and leave it a good while. We'll try and get at least another 2 generations, if we get another 2 generations, in our beautiful world of Pokemon. But yes, we'll leave it there. That's our 10 favourite Pokemon for now. If you want to hear your favourite is, whether you want to give us your top 3, your top 5, your top 20, your top, all of them. List every Pokemon in order. That would be a fucking horrible video. That would be so stupidly nuts. And it'd be a nightmare to do, to keep up with where you are and that and what. Like, fuck me. I haven't got the capability or the mental powers to do that. If I had somebody helping us, I would do it. Wow, that would be... I kind of want to do that video. Yes, visuals, let me know anything you want to let me know in the comments below, and we'll let you get back on with your day. We've done it for the millionth time. My favourite Pokemon of all time. So thank you so much, visuals, for watching. Hopefully you had a nice fun trip down memory lane as well, talking about the OG stuff, and the Pidgeys and the Pidgeottos and the Bulbasaurs and whatnot. But visuals, thanks so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We'll just keep being you and keep on keeping out.